7:10 right now. The Hawaii State Library System could lose dozens of positions next year, which means you and your kids could have less access to books, which could have a profound effect on certain communities and all of us in general. Chad Blair is here from Civil Beat. Chad, why is this happening?
Well, kudos to Megan Tagami, our education reporter, for getting this story. Now, it started during COVID. I mean, you already had cutbacks. There was actually a hiring freeze in place, and many libraries have already cut back on hours. Some aren't not even open on Sundays, if you can imagine that. Well, what's going on now is that the Department of Budget and Finance has this mandatory cut of positions in state government that have been left vacant since 2020. When it comes to our libraries, there's like 51 branches statewide. That's 37 positions. So librarians are very worried how that's going to affect people in the community that need to be serviced.
Yeah, you mentioned the hours and days that have been cut. I think Anna is only open like 3 days for the entire
3 or
week.
4 during the week, right.
Okay, but they've already had other problems as well, right, including safety issues.
That is a concern. Unfortunately, sometimes patrons will make disturbances, cause property damage. There's even been a report or two of assaults. And so the state librarian is hoping to ask for $1.2 million just to deal with some sort of new security service, because you don't want to go to a library and not feel safe and secure.
Yeah. So what exactly is being done? I know you mentioned the money, but what is being done to potentially keep all of these positions?
Well, right now the state librarian is going to ask for this extra money from the legislature next year. No guarantee what's going to happen there, but they're pointing out that when you have less people to fill those positions, you can't maintain services. You can't maintain the collection. The state library, for example, which is downtown, biggest collection in the state, you can't possibly take care of everything that's there. So they're working on that as well, but the concern is, are you going to have to cut back more on hours going forward?
Now, we just mentioned this. You're somebody that grew up in the library, right? I mean, we take for granted the fact that, hey, I want to read a book. I'm going to go out and buy a book. Some people can't do that. So it kind of marginalizes certain areas. How does that affect literacy in our state?
Oh, big time. And one of the things Megan points out, 1.3 million people last year visited our libraries. I mean, that's a pretty good indication of how popular they are. But if these cuts go into effect, you're probably going to see those numbers drop.
Yeah, they were a safe haven, especially during COVID.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, Chad, thanks. We appreciate it. By the way, you can read the full article on civilbeat.org or text 66866 to get their newsletter. Grace, over to you.
Thanks, you two.